You're a likable guy. I mean, they attack you a lot.
They do.
Yeah. I love it that you have a sense of humor, because a guy as important as you, who makes changes, could use your powers for evil and not good.
I never use them for evil.
You like laughing, you like to be funny.
I mean, I kill me.
As opposed to somebody like Zuckerberg, who I'm not even sure is a real boy.
I actually was in the audience here and watched your show. Been a long time admirer of your show.
Oh, well, thank you. Let me get back to you being a genius. But that has always been my view, is that I was a history major, and when you study history, what you realize is that, you know, there's the great man theory, and they talk about kings and princes and queens and presidents. It's really the people in tech who change the world. They're the people who deal the cards, whether it's fire or electricity, or, for good or bad, or the cotton gin, or the iPhone, or the atom bomb. Those are the cards, and the rest of us just play it. Would you agree with that assessment?
It's the thing that causes these big step changes in civilization. So obviously you've got things like, say, the Gutenberg press, before which it was very difficult to get books. They were very rare. Even if you had a thirst for knowledge, you really couldn't do anything about it because there were very few books to read. And the internet is something beyond the Gutenberg press, I think. But you know, when I first saw the internet coming into being in a way that the general public could use it, it felt like the humanity as a whole was developing a nervous system. The way the information would travel would be by osmosis, one person to another, or one person calling another. But the access to information was very limited. Now with the internet, it's like having a nervous system. It's like any part of humanity has access to almost all the information of humanity. You could be in the middle of the Amazon jungle with, say, a Starlink terminal and have access to more information than the president did in 1980.
Anything on your phone. So you are one of these dealers. So I think a lot of people thought when you bought Twitter that this is kind of an outlier. Like, how does this... Because I think you're dealing with big civilizational issues and problems, and I was right on your page. I think Twitter is one of them. I mean, you have talked about this woke mind virus.
Yes.
In really apocalyptic terms. You should explain why you don't think it's hyperbole to say things like it's pushing civilization towards suicide. What is the woke mind virus? And if we don't deal with this, nothing else can get done. Tell me why you think that.
I think we need to be very cautious about anything that is anti-meritocratic and anything that results in the suppression of free speech. You can't question things. Even the questioning is bad. So, you know, another way to, almost synonymous, would be cancel culture. And obviously people have tried to cancel you many times.
and it's interesting. People, you and I are both like in that little group of people, maybe it's a bigger group now, who are called conservative, who haven't really changed. I don't think of you as a conservative.
I definitely think of myself as a moderate. I've spent a massive amount of my life energy building sustainable energy, you know, electric vehicles and batteries and solar and stuff. To help save the environment. That's you drew that
diagram once where you're here. I related to that, and like the world has changed.
Right.
I feel the same way. I feel like very often wokeness is not building on liberalism. It's the opposite of liberalism.
Exactly.
Many examples where it's the including free speech.
Free speech is actually... Free speech used to be a left or liberal value, and yet we see from, you know, the in quotes left, a desire to actually censor. And that seems crazy. I mean, I think we should be extremely concerned about anything that undermines the First Amendment. There's a reason for the First Amendment. People came from countries where they could not speak freely.
England, why we protected them? They have no First Amendment. It's very easy to prove libel in England, whereas here it's almost you too. But I wouldn't want to say the wrong thing. Or you could be sued easier. In France, I think if you deny the Holocaust, which I think is abhorrent, but I also think it should be part of free speech, you can be thrown into jail. Okay, so this...
I really can't emphasize this enough. We must protect free speech. And free speech only matters, it's only relevant when it's someone you don't like saying something you don't like, because obviously speech that you like is, you know, that's easy.